Hello everybody and welcome to the first inaugural Liverpool.com draft. I am Kristian Walsh. I suppose I am your draft master for the day. And with me is Dan Morgan, Ollie Connolly and Joel Rabinowitz. How are we, gentlemen?
Good, thank you.
All good. Excited. We're all excited. We decided to do this because, as you may know, over in the US, there is the NFL draft is currently going on, and to be honest, it's going on in a very similar way that this draft is going on. Some of the biggest sporting organisations in the world are picking the stars of tomorrow in their basements and their living rooms. So we thought we'd get involved in a little bit of this fun as well, and hold our very own. The idea is simple. There are four of us, and we've all got to pick a team of 11. And like in a draft situation, you basically can't have the same player twice. So what Paul Konchesky has gone from Dan's team, that means Joel can't have him, I'm afraid. And we will basically go from 1 to 4 and then Liverpool.com later. Obviously, you're going to be watching this on YouTube or listen to it on the Blood Red channel. There'll be some social fun with it as well, where you can pick your best team. And basically, it's just a little bit of fun because I think at the moment, not only us four, but everyone in the world could do with a little bit of fun. And hopefully this will bring a smile to everybody's faces, if not a little bit of anger when obviously somebody doesn't go drafted and people are apoplectic that they didn't. So the rules for this are a Liverpool player of the Premier League-era. You have to have played for Liverpool between 1992 and the current day. A player can only go off the draft board once. So once a player is gone, that is it. Nobody else can have him. And finally, in order to make it a little bit more interesting, I suppose, when you pick a player, you have to pick a particular season. So when you pick a player, let's say if you were to pick Dean Saunders, I'm running out of terrible players already. Saunders and that one. But if you want to pick Dean Saunders, you don't get this whole body of work. You have to pick Dean Saunders 92, 93, for example, and you get that player in that time, in that season. And just to make it a little bit harder, even more so, you can only have 2 players, 2 seasons. So if you were to go for Dean Saunders and Bruce Grobbelaar from 92, 93, you can then not go in and have David Burrows as well. I think we've lost everybody now with the 92. I'm just trying not to spoil anyone's draft pick. So yeah, I'm really sorry if anyone did have David Burrows 92, 93. So basically, just to recap, player can go off once the player's off the board. Every player must have a season attached to them, and within your team of 11, 2 of the players into one particular league. Are we all clear with that, gents?
Mm-hmm.
Great.
And the team must be balanced. There is a competitive element. You cannot no 2 at the back systems. No, yeah.
I mean, you can play 2 at the back, but you get absolutely destroyed. If you want to be else, so that's absolutely fine. But it's got to resemble some sort of formation. We did a very high tech draw before, which was basically me on a computer generated draw system. So the draft order is going to go as follows. Ollie Connolly is number 1, Dan Morgan is number 2, I am number 3, and Joel Rabinowitz is number 4. It will then snake back. So Joel, you get the 5th pick, I get the 6th, Dan with the 7th, Ollie with the 8th, Ollie with the 9th, and so on. We will have around 90 seconds exactly to make our pick. If you don't make the pick on the in that allotted time, then we are going to have to basically leave it blank, and then we leave it up to the fine social following of Liverpool.com to decide which era of I'm trying to think of a terrible player now. Neil Rudder that you get. So without further ado, that's a really complicated way of explaining a really simple game. We will crack on. Ollie Connolly, you are on the board starting. And also, I want you to kind of tell everybody why you're picking these players. It'll be really interesting. You're starting now.
All right, this is a really easy pick for me. I think the first overall pick in any draft has to be Steven Gerrard. I did go back and forth between Luis Suarez is the best player I've ever seen in the flesh, and I would love to build a team around him. But an anomaly of Liverpool is that the strike position is so loaded, and as we creep through this and go through the rounds, the rest will dwindle a little bit. So I think Steven Gerrard, 2008-09 version, peak of his powers, still all the athleticism and springs in his legs of the younger years, but then involved the nous and the savvy of being a little bit older. His best goal scoring season. So 08-09 Gerrard.
Dan, you're on the clock.
Conversely to Ollie, Steven Gerrard is the best player I have ever seen in a Liverpool shirt. So second to that would be Luis Suarez in 2013-14. I think there's a Gerrard argument in 08-09 as to what is the perfect foil for him and whether there is only one perfect foil, i.e. the Torres version. And I completely get that Gerrard's a machine, unstoppable in that season. But the closest thing I can see to someone influencing a Liverpool season is Luis Suarez 13-14. And also with every draft I do, I always work front back. So you sort your striker first and you go backwards.
I'm on the clock now. You've both taken my first two draft picks, so thanks very much for that. I'm going to go for Mohamed Salah, 17-18. He scored 44 goals in the most incredible debut campaign Liverpool or I think the world has ever seen. He is a goal scorer. He's a creator. He's coming at a time when he's still around 25, 26. He's about to approach his peak. You can play him anywhere across the front three. If I want to use him as a striker, if they don't get me strikers later, then I can do. I just feel like he's a phenomenal footballer. I think he's still very, very underrated. So that for me is my pick is Salah, 17-18. Joel, you're on the clock.
That's three pretty premium options gone there. So I'm going to load myself up at the back first. I'm going to take Virgil van Dijk. There are quite a few good centre-backs to pick from, but I think he is probably head and shoulders above the rest. Doesn't really need much explanation. I guess you've kind of got one full season and then first half season and then this season so far. I'm going to go 18-19. It's obviously the most complete season. He wins PFA Player of the Year, is only second to Lionel Messi in the world, really. No other explanation really needed. 18-19 Van Dijk for me.
I am on the clock, and this is my first sort of dilemma now. I am going to go for the striker.
Wait, isn't Joel going back to back?
Chris jumping ahead of me.
Yeah.
Oh, Joel.
Unbelievable.
You should have let him go there, Ollie.
You want to get this from Roger Goodell, right? Okay. Joel, you're back on the clock. I knew I'd get up.
It's a tricky one, you see. So I've taken a defender. Suarez and Salah are already gone, so I feel like I need to take an attacker. So I'm split between the options here. But the one I'm going for is Fernando Torres, I think. I wanted a number 9. In terms of which season to go for, I've gone 07-08. His first season. It's his highest scoring season for Liverpool. Again, there were other options who tempted me, but I think as a pure finisher that season, Ollie's already mentioned his link up with Gerrard. In my lifetime, that's some of the most enjoyable football watch. And Torres, it just felt like really when he was in the groove that season, nobody was stopping him. So, 07-08, Fernando Torres for me.
Okay, I am the clock. It is actually my turn now. I'm split between two here, but I'm going to go for Robbie Fowler, 95-96. He was 20 years of age in 95-96, and he's 36 goals for Liverpool. I'm getting a Robbie Fowler who, at the time hasn't really been impacted by injuries. He's prime Robbie Fowler. My only concern about this is how he's going to sort of work with Salah. That's what I've got to sort of figure out because I've got two left footers, the front three, and that's quite unorthodox. But I'll have a little play. I just can't ignore a 20-year-old who's basically around the same scoring rate as a modern day Kylian Mbappe. So for me, it's Robbie Fowler, 95-96, and Dan, you're on the clock.
I'm going to take Xabi Alonso, 04-05, his breakout season. have a lot of arguments about what was his best season and whether he has a few dips. Chris, you wrote something on it the other day in his mid-term career at Liverpool. I just think that first season, he is a revelation to the Premier League in many ways. The manner in which he becomes a playmaker for Liverpool and the manner in which he sort of bullies lower-level Premier League teams with his ray of passion. So, yeah, Suarez is on the move, as we know, in the way which Luis Suarez was in 13-14. I can just envisage Xabi Alonso pinging 50-yarders right onto his foot as he chests it down past Newcastle goalkeepers. So, yeah.
On the clock.
I don't know about you guys, but already my board is just shot. These are all the obvious names, and yet still I have these grand visions of this great system, and it's just blown to pieces already. So I'm going to take Trent 2019-20. I'm building the All-Scouts 11. I just went best player available here. I think when you look at the options and the rest of what's behind the positions, I could have gone and got an attacker right now, Coutinho or someone. But I'm going to take Trent, just someone redefining the position. No matter what system style you play, you get in the spot for it. So I'll take Trent 2019-20.
Okay, and yours back on the clock. You remain on the clock.
Oh, yeah, that's a good point. I should have remembered that, shouldn't I? I will then, wow. I will take Sadio Mane, 2018-19. Just to load up on an attacker, I've got Steven Gerrard on in the middle. I've got Trent on the right, and then I'll find a spot for Sadio. He can play left or right, I guess, or through the middle. So I'll take Sadio 2018-19.
Okay, Dan, you're on the clock. Ollie, make sure you update your draft board so everyone can make sure we know who's gone and who's not.
Jamie Carragher, 07-08. I think you can probably pick between 4 or 5 seasons of Carragher because of his level of consistency. But 07-08 just stands out for a few different moments, notably the times in which he picks up the armband from Gerrard. And he's probably physically at his peak at this time as well. So in a season that really doesn't stand out too much for Liverpool in terms of what they won or being an amazing team, Carragher is a mainstay. And I think I've got a good spine there of Suarez, Alonso and Jamie Carragher to shout at them profusely when they're doing something wrong.
I'm on the clock and I'm already sort of looking, and one of my big concerns around this draft I was putting up my board was ultimately, sort of centre-back options, because I think Liverpool have had some great centre-backs and they've had some not-so-great centre-backs who might end up going teams later. With that in mind, in case I don't end up with some great centre-backs later, I'm going for Alisson Becker, 18-19. I think he's the best goalkeeper I've seen at Liverpool in my lifetime. And ultimately, 18-19 just gets the nod simply because with the injuries this season, it doesn't feel like we've got a full season. Last season, you're getting the Milik from point blank range, the Lingard at his feet at Old Trafford. You're getting the Alisson who plays his incredible games against Barcelona and Tottenham in the Champions League. So for me, Alisson, I've got my goalkeeper, Alisson, 18-19, and Joel, you're on the clock.
I'm starting to pack now after that.
We're only 3 players in.
Yeah, I know. I'm going to go for a slightly risky strategy because I realise I've already taken a good centre back, but I'm going to double up on that and have the best centre back partnership I can possibly have. So I'm going to take Sami Hyypiä here. Now, I'm at a little bit of a disadvantage in this thing because I'm slightly younger, so I missed pretty much all 90s. I got into football around sort of early 2000s, 2001, 2002. So I'm going to take Sami Hyypiä from 2001, 2002. He was named Liverpool's Player of the Year that year. He got him a UEFA Team of the Year. He scored 4 goals around the season. Liverpool captain at the time. And yeah, when I remember first starting to watch football, really, Sami Hyypiä was kind of a mainstay. Scored goals, brilliant defender, good on the ball. And yeah, thought of having his prime alongside Van Dijk. It's quite an appealing prospect. So he's straight into my team.
And your second pick?
Was it me again?
Yeah.
Cool. So I definitely need more attackers here. Interesting. I need a midfielder. Alonso's gone. Gerrard's gone. I've got 90 seconds here.
Yeah.
I need to my strategy out because this is.
Well, you've got 20. You've already used up 25. Woman and Aaron.
Oh God.
I panic like the man. Don't worry about it. That was not at all in my vision.
I need someone who's going to anchor my midfield because that gives me a bit more freedom for who goes in front of him. So I'm going to take Javier Mascherano here. I'm going to have the 08-09 version. It's probably the Mascherano. Yeah, an unbelievable player, really. Shame we kind of didn't have him for longer, but yeah, I feel like if you have him sitting in front of a back four, you can pick pretty much whoever you want. A couple of players in front of him, so you give me options for later on. So 08-09 Mascherano.
Okay, I am now on the clock. I'm starting to panic a little bit about these centre backs. The first three on the board were Van Dijk and Carrick for me. I must admit, I'm not a fan of some of the ones that I've got down. I'm probably going to go for. I'm going to go for Fabinho 1890.
Wow.
It's just twofold. Number one, it's someone who, to be fair, again, Alonso, Mascherano were players that we're on me defensive midfield board as well. And I realised that 18-19 is now out of the game for me, which is obviously one of Liverpool's greatest ever seasons. Just with Fabinho, I think he can hold, and if I'm really struggling as centre back later, I can slot him in there. He kept a clean sheet against Bayern Munich, and Lewandowski as centre back. So yeah, Fabinho for me. I'm not saying of him drafting him as a defender or a midfielder yet, but Fabinho 18-19. Obviously, he started quite slowly, but I think the performance against Barcelona or at Anfield is one of the best I've ever seen. The way he basically shackled Messi on a yellow card for 80 minutes was phenomenal. He's also very creative and you know he can either play in my midfield, you know, sort of supply the bullets for Salah and Robbie Fowler. So yeah, that is mine. Daniel, back on the clock.
Give me 1 second. I'd take Pepe Reina 05-06. Pepe Reina in that season it's his second full season at Liverpool. Concedes a total of 34 goals in 50 games. He is consummate. 30 clean sheets. He's part of a back line of Liverpool's transition, if you like, the regrowth of the Rafa Benitez after a season where they were bullied away from home and were susceptible in all kinds of defensive areas. Liverpool go and get this goalkeeper, and he looks like an absolute world beater, and his distribution spoke for itself. Very underrated season from a very good goalkeeper. I'm considering the dearth of goalkeepers left in this selection. I had to take him quickly.
Ollie, you're on the clock.
Well, I'm in a right panic now. So I'm all over the place with my team. My system, my shape I had planned out has been destroyed because for some reason I panicked and took Mane and that threw everything all over the place. And I'm down to, do I just take Coutinho because that 17-18 season, for all the nonsense that happened afterwards, he was among the 5 best players in the world for that 6 months there. Do you take that, or do I have myself the best fullback pairing of anyone and just take Robertson, because the left back pickings are slim after you get through Robertson. So I think I will take Andy Robertson 2019-20 to take that out of the equation for me, and I'll end up with the best fullback pick.
You've also got the next pick as well.
Oh, well, there you go. What am I worried about? I'll take Coutinho then. Let's go back to back. I'll take 2017-18 on that one.
I was talking along. He's not taking Coutinho here, you know. He's not going to take Coutinho, and then all of a sudden I was like, oh, he's got the next pick as well.
I'll take him for all the reasons we said before.
Dan, you're back on the clock.
I'm going to take Steve McManaman, season 1997-98. You can, again, like Carragher, McManaman sort of becomes a body of work over about 5 seasons, but 97-98, his stats aren't great. Only scores 12, but you look at some of the goals. There's that Celtic goal away. There's a goal at Arsenal away, which is absolutely phenomenal. It's 2 in a game against Newcastle. Steve McManaman was a phenomenal footballer ahead of his time, and he's going to give this team quite a bit of flair for what is adding to the solid spine that it's got.
I'm on the clock, and I am struggling now. I might need to have a little rethink about things. This has gone absolutely terribly.
Your man's on there. Barnty's on there.
There are players there. Okay, I'm gonna. See, I was gonna go for 4-3-3, and I'm starting to reconsider that a bit. No, okay, I'll tell you what. I'm gonna go for Michael Owen 0102. Which is very attacking, and I have no idea where I'm going to fit him in. So I've got something in my mind. Yeah, I'm going for Michael Owen 0102. He won the Ballon d'Or. And I know it's not the Ballon d'Or in the current iteration, but I think I will be the only team with a Ballon d'Or winner in it. So I think everyone can feel how incredible he was at that time. 0102. I undernard when I was making my draft board in terms of would it potentially be, the 98, 99 season when he really does truly break through. And he was someone I was thinking of as well initially before Fowler, because I think the speed of Salah and Owen, sort of an 18, 19-year-old Michael Owen would be absolutely terrifying. But I'm going to do it anyway. So, yeah, Michael Owen, 0102, that's me. And Joel, you're on the clock.
Have I got the next two picks, Chris?
You've got the next two picks. You and Ollie have two picks back-to-back.
Okay. So I've been thinking, I realise I haven't got anyone from the current season, which seems a little bit mad given the team I've ever seen. And quite a few of these players have already been snapped up by the rest of you. So I'm going to take Jordan Henderson this season, needing another midfielder. I think there's a lot of seasons of Henderson I considered. 13, 14, obviously he's pivotal to the title challenge then. He actually does quite well in 14, 15 when Liverpool as a whole were pretty bad, but he got a lot of goals that season under Rodgers. But I think, his season this season, I think has just, nobody could have seen it coming the way it's happened. He obviously started in that box-to-box role, which was kind of continuation from last season, revitalised really playing further forward. And then the Fabinho injury sort of changes everything. It goes back into the sixth role, and I think that sort of 2-3 month spell really between kind of the end of November through December, January, and start of this year till football used to exist. I think Jordan Henderson, I struggled to pick out a kind of 2 to 3 month period of any Liverpool player in my lifetime that's been that influential in terms of driving the team. Creative, defensive, he's been kind of the complete package. And I think if there is a PFA Player of the Year, and when it gets named this year, he's obviously going to be one of the top 2 or 3 candidates. So, Jordan Henderson, 923, goes into midfield. Now I need to really start thinking, because Alisson and Reina are gone. I don't have a goalkeeper yet. Do I just sacrifice that position completely and just take whoever's left at the end? Or do I go, because there is still a lot of quality left elsewhere? I am going to go for, alongside Fernando Torres, I'm going to have 2013-14 Dan Sturridge.
Great show.
I think. Sorry, Ollie.
That guitar's just gone out the window.
That season of Sturridge, in terms of pure entertainment, that partnership with Suarez is just, it's some of the most thrilling times I've had watching Liverpool. The variety of goals he scored that season. You got the chip from 12 yards out against West Brom. And smash him in from outside the box. He's got headers, he's got volleys. He's creative as well that season. You forget Sturridge gets a lot of assists for Suarez as well as vice versa. It's just such a shame that really was the peak. I think he ended up with 25 or 24 in all comps that season, Sturridge. And that was it really. After then, he had a couple of decent-ish seasons under Klopp. But I'd say at his peak then, he was right up there with the best strikers in Europe alongside Suarez. I think Suarez gets a lot of the credit for that season, and rightly so. But I think Sturridge's role does probably get a little bit overlooked in terms of that team. So, Torres and Sturridge up front for me. I'm quite happy with that.
Okay. I'm on the clock, I believe. I'm just going all out here, and hopefully this is an absolute sort of shot to the dark. I'm going to take Raheem Sterling 14-15.
Good job.
He's just on the cusp of becoming. There's still a little bit of work to do with him, but he is just on the cusp of becoming something really special. He's Liverpool's top goal scorer that season. I want to knock out the 13-14 season in case I need to use that at some point. But I think the season afterwards is his only real full season at Liverpool, which is quite interesting when you think about how his time at Liverpool's regarded. But he's Liverpool's best player for all intents and purposes in what is a poor season, but he's just about to become something really special, and he's good enough to make Manchester City part with £50 million pounds for him. So I'm going with a front four here of Salah, Owen, Fowler, and Sterling. I'm really glad I picked up Alisson before, because he's got to be really busy.
Chris, did you not say at the start of this 2 at the back? Not being allowed. That's literally where you're headed here.
I've got Fabio and Alisson and basically and everybody else. So yeah, Sterling 14-15, and Dan, you're on the clock.
Quick check here. Is Firmino gone?
No.
Okay, I'm going to take Roberto Firmino, and I will take him. I'll actually take him this season. I know he hasn't scored. Well, he scored in the last game Liverpool played at home. But in fact, no, 17-18, sorry. 17-18 Firmino.
The season I had him down for.
It is the correct answer, to be fair, and just playing it off memory is consummate, isn't it? It's no-look goals, it's reinventing the number 9 position. A perfect foil for Luis Suarez, I would say. I'd imagine they would be the absolute dream for each other in terms of movement and creativity and just sheer bedlam that they would cause back fours across the world.
That's a good shout. Ollie, on the clock, and you have 2 picks.
And I am completely panicking because my 3 selections just went one after the other. All of the dreams and desires have gone. I have a really light team with no spine backbone, which is contending for the title hard. So I'm just going to take a guy who is tough, because this is a really light team at the moment. We got Mane, we got Coutinho. I'm going to pair Gerrard with Paul Ince from 97-98.
Oh my God.
Oh my God.
Is he cooked? Because he's cooked, but can he get around the pitch a little bit and put his boot in? Yes, he can. And this team needs some spine. And so I'm bringing in 97-98 Ince, and I'm apologising to no one.
I think Dan Morgan's going to lose Zeta. Yes,
I mean, I'm throwing your guitar out the window now.
And I need someone at the back, because I've got the 2 fullbacks. I've not got a keeper. I'm just going to wait on and see what Brad Friedel like at the end. So I'm going to take, it's either Skirtle or Hencho. Geez, that's not good, is it? I'll take a 14-15 Skirtle. Can we play out from the back? No, but we've got some hard men now. I think creativity of Coutinho and Trent, and then the power of Gerrard. We got Ince, we've got Skirtle. We can have a street fight as well as getting in the back and forth with Chris's, whatever it is, 2-4-5.
I think you might have picked the wrong Skirtle there, but we'll go back to that, because I had Skirtle down actually. I'm not a big fan of him, but as I said, centre backs is a tough one for Liverpool. They're either great or not very great at all. Dan, you on the clock?
I might just do 2 minutes, Paul Ince here, and not pick anyone, because I am absolutely flabbergasted. Like, I thought you meant Tom Ince when you first said it. And I don't even know if he played in the Premier League with Liverpool. My head was...
He's mad.
Honestly, you've ruined my it's a tactic to try and get my team to be thrown off kilter. You've absolutely nailed it, because I don't know what's going on anymore. I might have to take a day off tomorrow. As it is, I need someone to accompany Xabi Alonso, and I am going to pick 18-19 Gini Wijnaldum if he's available. Perfect foil. He plays just in front of Alonso, and which he does. Manaman's around him, just complete balance out of the 2 of them. He's going to go down I think he's going to go down as one of the great forgotten Liverpool players. I think he'll just form part of a a football game in a manner in which Ronnie Whelan did throughout the 80s or players of that ilk. It won't be to his detriment, but he's going to be a player that in 30 years, 40 years time, people are going to, in pubs, if pubs ever open again, talk about as a forgotten lost Liverpool player.
You've literally, thanks Dan, I'm on the clock. You've just taken my idea. Wijnaldum was my next one, so I'm going to have to sort of go for me back up here. I think, yeah, I've no other choice really. I'd love John Barnes. I think he's a real sleeper pick, and I shouldn't be saying that but I can't pick him anymore because I've already got 7 attackers. So I'm going for Didi Hamann to basically form a 2 in the field with Fabinho, and basically carry a lot of water for the front 4.
He's the right Paul in answer, by the way.
I'm just trying to think of the season. And let me just have a little look what seasons I've still got on the board.
0203 probably.
I was thinking, do you know what though? I think I'm probably going to go the treble winning season because also he wins 3 trophies. I think, yeah, I had 02, 03 and 03, 04 as possibles as well. He's great in the Istanbul season as well, to be fair. But I think I'll go for 0001, the treble winning season, just because he's in the midfield that does win, 3 trophies. And it's probably one of his best seasons. I'm really panicking and flapping now. But I think Hamann and Fabio is something that can, if I'm playing a 4-2-2-2, like the Brazilian box, I think that is a decent sort of starting point. So, I've basically just got to find myself a defence now, which is, again, be happy that Alisson is in goal for me. So, Joel, you're on the clock.
And I've got 2 now, yeah?
You got 2.
Yeah, I've been having a bit of a think about my shape here because I've got 2 centre mids, 2 centre forwards, and 2 centre backs so far. I need a little bit of stuff that goes down the sides. So I'm thinking I'm leaning towards a sort of 4-4-2 shape. So with that in mind, Torres and Sturridge are not going to put a huge amount of graft in up top. We're going to get the ball and they're going to score goals, but they're not going to work back a lot. So I'm going to need a bit of graft in midfield. I've already got Henderson and Mascherano in the middle. So to the right-hand side of them, I'm going to go with Dirk Kuyt. There's a few things here that I was thinking I've got to be a bit strategic because they're the ones I've used up already. So I'm going to go for one, which is going to leave me, hopefully, a few more options elsewhere. I'm going to go for, I think, 2010-11 Dirk Kuyt. Now, that's obviously a great season for Liverpool. It's sort of the Hodgson era. Not great times overall, but I think it is. I'm just looking it up here. It's joint highest top scoring season for Liverpool, 14 goals in all comps season, 7 assists as well. I loved Kuyt, such a versatile player. He could play up front, he could play either flank, and I think if you stick him on the right hand side of that midfield, he's going to help out. And right back, he'll link up with the front 2, and you can sort of trust him to do a job wherever. So that's 10-11 Dirk Kuyt for me. And then my next pick, I've already taken both the good fullbacks that I had down, so I'm going to need to do something there. I feel like there's a few more options at right back than there are at left back. And I don't have a goalkeeper. So with that in mind, hang on, let me check the seasons I've already got. I've got already 8 or 9. I'm going to have 08-09 Fabio Aurelio at left back. I wrote something about him this week. It was my sort of favourite forgotten Liverpool players, really. Discovered a stat which absolutely blew my mind that he never actually started more than 3 games in a row for Liverpool. In 6 seasons he was here, which is just ridiculous. He played over 100 games in total, but never started more than 3 in a row. And 08 only sort of got to the closing of Aurelio, really. He kind of had everything you'd want from a left back. Had a brilliant left foot. Wasn't particularly fast, but his free kicks, obviously, there's quite a few sort of parallels between him and Trent in sort of playing style. He played centre a couple of times that season, Portsmouth away. Obviously, gets the goal at Old Trafford against Chelsea in the Champions League as well. I just love watching him, and I think he's probably the next closest thing to Andy Robertson. So, Aurelio 09 left back.
actually left Aurelio off my board.
Really?
Yeah, I was just wondering. I was worried about injuries and durability.
Linton's over the room every game.
Well, I've got Sleeper there, but I'm not going for him yet. We'll see. I do need at some point a centre back, and I'm gonna go for. It's really hard because the seasons makes this so hard. I think I'm gonna go for Gomez 1920. I'll explain the sort of the dilemma after the draft with who I was going for. I think I've mixed myself a little bit with the seasons, but I think Gomez from this season. I know he didn't really come to the full till about November, December, but I do think he came back into the team. I'm looking in terms of a longer term strategy. He's still young. He's very athletic. He's quick. He'll be able to sort of step up to the fence and help out the pivots too. So yeah, I'm going to go for Gomez. He can also sort of slot in at right back if one of my players gets injured for whatever reason, and he even do a stint at the back. So I'm going to go this season's Joe Gomez. And Daniel on the clock.
Joel has just forced me into this quicker than I'd like with his cow choice. I personally picked 809, but I think it was a great choice. James Milner, but to play left back. So James Milner, which is 16-17, where he did his full season at left back. He's going to help me pick a left midfielder. He's going to give me a bit more freedom in terms of having a player who doesn't have to be as disciplined going backwards. I think it's going to go down as one of the left back seasons in the last 20 years because, like we've said, we don't have a dearth of them. And I think it's an epiphany to him and to everyone about how Klopp wants to play the position. There's no coincidence come the end of that season and this time of that season that Milner is absolutely goosed because of the amount of work he has to do in midfield areas as well. He envisages a season playing left full back and he's anything but. He's playing inside left midfield for the majority of it. So I will take him for that season and he will very much be on penalties too.
That's a great shout, you know. I completely had him off the board. I've just let him. I lost him. That's a shout. Oh, you're on the clock. You've got 2 picks.
I'm heartbroken because I already ballsed this up with the int shout. That I'm gonna have to wear that forever. And I was gonna take Milner to try and save myself and give me something different in the middle. So I'm gonna take Marcus Ball. 2001, I'm going to play him at centre back. His true real position inside of Trent, sliding across. I think you pair him next to Skirtle. We've got some technical ability back there, and we've still got a couple of meters if need be.
Your second pick?
Second pick. This is rough. I still don't have an out-and-out striker, and I thought I'd just wait on him.
I've got some of you on wait.
Yeah. I'm going to go for a shot here and risk the wrath of Dan again, but I'm just going to do it. Why not? Let's pull the trigger. I'm taking Nicholas Anelka 2001-02.
Great shout.
Amazing movement. Mane and rotating off the ball. Coutinho passes, Gerrard bombing in behind, Alexander-Arnold and Robertson delivery. He was still at that time that he still had his legs, he still had the movement. He should have scored a hatful if he'd had better supply that season. So I'm taking Nicholas Anelka.
Tell you what, lad, you've come to the dressing room there to match it on. You're only missing a lad, Stu.
Hello, who's your manager, Kofi Annan? Dan, you're on the clock.
Just let me get my head together here. Right, I'm going to pick... Hang on. My head's gone here. Shit. I've been forced into this. Right. What's the rules with the seasons again? Can we have the same season twice?
Twice, yeah.
Okay. I would take Luis Garcia 05-06. And he's going to play in front of Milner. In fact, I'm debating between 05 and 06 and 04 and 05. I'll take Yeah, I'll take on 5 or 6. He's got that penchant for goals in him in big games that I think this team will need. There's creativity there with McManaman on the other side. Firmino, Suarez buzzing round, Alonso, Wijnaldum. Wijnaldum able to shift over and cover him when he's doing God knows what in wide areas in final thirds. So yeah, slightly forced and slightly rushed, but Luis Garcia.
I'm just going to sort of. I haven't really got a player I like anymore on the ball.
This is brilliant.
Which is a problem. So I'm going to have to go for Daniel Agger. I've never been his biggest fan. I always think he was a little bit overrated, if I'm being honest, which is obviously the sort of man-to-man management that I'm going to give him when he comes to my dressing room. But I'll probably go with, do you know what, as well, just as a really funny aside as well. Obviously, during drafts on the NFL, you are allowed to sort of use the internet and that. So I just tried to go on lfchistory.com, which is a fantastic...
That's
We all tried it. I was like, I need to see which season he's played the most appearances, and I was like, oh, you're joking me. Like LFC history's got down. I managed to get on his fair mark instead, and he actually played his most minutes in 12-13, which I've got a slight feeling that's probably why he sort of fell apart very soon after. But ultimately, he'll go well with Gomez, I think. He's not necessarily the most physical, but I can sort of sort of teach Gomez. He's getting that side of his game already. I've got 2 really good passes there, which make up for sort of Haman and whichever I'm going to have a fullback. So yeah, I think those 2. It's a Rolls Royce of a defence. I don't think it's a great defence so far, but yeah, I'm going to go for Daniel Agger, and of course you do get that nice balance where Agger's a left-sided centre back, and I do think Gomez is a right-sided centre back. So Daniel Agger, 12-13 for me, and Joel, you've got 2 picks, and you're on the clock.
Hoping nobody would take this one. I was considering Luis Garcia, but Dan's sort of made this decision for me a little bit. So I've got Dirk Kuyt on the right, and I'm going to pair him up in a weird way with a left-hand side of the midfield. I'm going to have 2010-11 Maxi Rodriguez again, another kind of overlooked player, I feel, of the last sort of decade. He really didn't have that long at Liverpool, but in 10-11, again, another season when Liverpool as a whole weren't very good, but Maxi was one of a few players who stood out. I think he ended up with 10 or 11 goals in all comps, and he had that mad sort of run under Dalglish towards the end of the season where he gets 7 goals in 3 games. He scores 2 hat-tricks in the space of a few weeks. And I just, in a 4-man midfield, if you've got Kuyt on the right, Maxi on the left, they can work back, they can link up with the front 2. Very versatile players. So, yeah, Maxi Rodriguez, 10-11 for me. And then I only need a right back and a goalkeeper. I have a few options here. Nobody has taken a right back so far apart from Ollie, have they? Trent.
Mm-hmm.
So I've kind of got
Babel.
3 picks here.
Babel's gone,
Babel's gone,
but that's fine. I never really got to watch Marcus Babel, although I heard he was good. So that kind of leaves me with 2 obvious ones here. And I'm not sure. It's between a Spaniard and an Irishman. And I just check the season, so I've still got a slot in 07-08, and I've got many earlier ones. I'm going to take. I'm panicking here. I'm going to go with 07-08 Alvaro Arbeloa. It was between him and Stephen, but I think we spoke about Arbeloa just before we came on this morning, and just kind of a career he went on to have after Liverpool. I feel like we didn't really appreciate how good a player he was at the time. Ended up becoming a mainstay at Real Madrid, loads for Spain, and I think, under Rafa, solid, unspectacular, but very reliable. And I think if you've got Aurelio on the left, Arbeloa on the right, if you can't have Trent and Robbo, I think that's probably the next best back pairing. So 07-08 Arbeloa for me.
Arbeloa actually went under my radar as well. I've missed out Arbeloa and Milner here. I've got to fill in the two full back positions here. And I'm actually going to go and I'm going to go Rob Jones, 95-96. He's part of a back. This amazed me when I was doing a little bit of research. He's part of a back four, back five of Liverpool. He's a back five, which is actually the second best defence in the Premier League that season. Which is just ludicrous when you think about it. They only conceded 34 goals. For me, Rob Jones is again someone who can, he's very underrated. He can get forward a lot. He linked up really well with Robbie Fowler in that season, so he's got a bit of familiarity there. And I was looking at a couple of other fullbacks, but I just don't feel like. I feel like I need some sort of thrust from at least one side or the other. So I think Rob Jones, 95, 96 for me. He can defend, he can sit attack. The only concern is maybe longevity. I've just realised that my back four is going to be absolutely biscuits. But I suppose that's why we've got Alisson at the back if we need them. So yeah, Rob Jones, 95, 96. And Dan, you're on the clock.
I will then take Steve Finnan, and I will take him 06, 07. Again, I think you can probably pick between 3 seasons, but this is probably his most consistent in terms of appearances, 47 for Liverpool, gets 6 assists. Really solid player, know what you're getting. The inaugural 7 out of 10 player, as people tend to reference. And just a really, really, really solid option with Milner the other side and Carragher. So yeah, that will just nearly complete my back four team.
Ollie, you got your final 2 picks.
Final 2 picks. All right. I still need a holding midfielder for the system I'm going to play, and I need a keeper. I can't believe Berger and Barnes on the board. So I'm wondering if I can reshuffle around and maybe move Coutinho to the 8 and fit in the Barnes, Mane, and Elka front line. It'd be pretty tasty.
There are some really decent players though.
It's about systems. I'll take 94, 95 Barnes then. Still some stuff in the tank. I'll move Coutinho back to the 8 role, and Mane and Elka Barnes all taking up different positions. I think is about as difficult to pick up and handle for any defense, no matter what era, as possible. So much speed, so much creativity behind them. So I'll take Barnes, 94, 95. Then I need a keeper. So you come down to, do you take Vesterveld or Dudek? Or I was considering taking 99, 2000 Friedel because he played 2 games and just sneaking in a Brad Friedel pick. But I'll take 2003, 04 Dudek. It's his best save percentage per 90. But I mean, it's a disaster zone in the keeper spot. So I'll do the best I can.
I had Dudek 0102 is my backup because he was brilliant that season, but I can't argue with the science of his save percentage as well. So yeah, Ollie, that is your team. We'll after the draft is finished, we'll sort of look back on our teams, fill in your board on that Google sheet, and we can talk about it. Dan, you got your last pick.
I'm going to go Joel Matip, 18-19. I was trying to figure out who would be the best to partner Carragher between Matip and Stefan Honcho, 2001. Honcho had pace, but I think his erraticness would have driven Carragher into an early grave, to be honest. Matip was more of the Sammy Hyypiä mould than I would say Honcho, and that's where Carragher had his better part. I'm concerned about my lack of pace in this team, I'll be honest. And I would, if I had my time again, probably do something with Garcia, because I was never his biggest fan and hated his song. So that is the one regret that I'm looking at already, but that's my team.
Okay. Wow. I have successfully managed to leave, as I assumed, back to my last pick. So I've got 3 basically on the board here. I've got Moreno 14-15, which is well. I'm not using.
I think I know he's going to go for here.
There's John Arisa, in 0102, and he's the presence in a season play where Liverpool finished second basically, and are only beaten by a really Arsenal team. And the other one I was looking at, Stiginga Bjornaby. So it's down to the two Norwegian lads. Unless why do I get the feeling I've missed out someone really obvious? This is really tough. I'm going to go for Rizzo 102. Now, I've never been his biggest fan. I feel like he is quite overrated because he had a really hard shot on him.
Yes.
But I just need somebody with a little bit of kind of beef and physicality in that defence, to be fair. And to be fair to him, he can get up and down. He can put in a good ball. He should be able to pick out that front four with balls down the line. I think it's got to be John Arne Riise. And to be fair, he is an ever present. He's over 3,100 minutes.
Didn't he get double-digit goals then?
He got 7 goals as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, he gets 7 goals from. He plays left mid a little bit, but he's still young here as well. He's still in his early mid-20s, so I can mould him and just tell him to stop shooting. And if Solomon Kalou's behind you at the top end, and it's a choice between clearing it with your right foot or heading it into the back of the net, to maybe choose clearing it with your right foot this time. So yeah, it's for me the end of my team. John Arne Riise, very apt final pick for me. Riise 102. You got 2 picks, Joel, and then one pick. One pick. You got your keeper.
Yeah, so only got a keeper left.
In the way to Steven Gerrard, all the
Paul
best.
Jones.
Oh, I just thought of a great one.
Yeah, so Alisson's gone, Rayner's gone, Dudek's gone. In my lifetime, there's not been a lot of great Liverpool goalkeepers. I refuse to go for a player who I have to say I've never actually watched live, but having read seasons, Sander Westerveld, I'm going to go for. Between him,
I just thought one of us should have took Galaxy.
Oh,
that's a shot to not that. I mean, that is absolute. Bear in mind, you've been at the class and never played for Liverpool. I don't even know if I'm allowed that.
Do you know what? I genuinely think you could have had a shout for Adrian in the Premier League this season.
I think so too. Yeah.
But
I'm at all.
But I mean, you're right about Westerveld. Wins 5 trophies in this season. Yeah, I think you're right. I didn't rate him particularly
high.
He
won 4 trophies in a few months, which is better than.
Then you can see like 7 goals in the.
I think it was more his personality. He once blamed ice on the ball as a result of. He did on Boxing Day against Middlesbrough away. He spilled the shot.
I can't be having Adrian off the basis of about 6 good games this season or whatever he's had.
It's 5 more than Westerveld, that. Okay, so that is the end of the draft, gentlemen. Thank you very much for that. So we just want to recap our teams. Ollie, do you want to run through yours?
Chris, can I just interject something?
Go on.
Can we have like a 5 minutes like window of doing a transfer if we want, just one?
Yeah,
because I want to make a change in my team.
Okay, I'll allow 1 trade with an undrafted player. Not a trade, like an undrafted player.
Yeah.
All right.
And it's a legal trade, but I'm going to take out Luis Garcia. I can't have Garcia in my team. I'm sorry. 10-11.
There we go.
He was on my ball.
Perfect foil for what I need. So if anyone wants to take Garcia, they can, but I'm not interested in him.
No, you're all right. Is there anybody else? Does anyone?
I'm binning Ince off. That was a panic move. I wanted some beef. And he did bring some heft. The bitters all over the shop. The hipsters legend. I'm taking that in. So I'm bringing in Morelos. The night out is going to be legendary.
wait until
Big Roy Evans is the manager.
Once we've locked our teams, then wait until you hear some of the undrafted players, and I think you'll kick yourself a little bit there. Who I've got down. Do you want to make any draft any changes, Joel?
Yeah, I'm completely going to go back on what I just said. I'm not picking a player who I've never watched play for Liverpool.
It was crap.
If I can make a case for Adrian, it is that his sort of 2 to 3 months spell at the start of the season going to be presumably if football resumes again, the best Liverpool league season of my lifetime. I think, although he has had a few shockers in that period, in fairness, a lot of people feared a lot worse when Alisson got injured in that first game, and he sort of kept us steady. And I think I'm right in saying he's not lost, or maybe not even dropped a point. Did he play at Watford, or was that Alisson?
Alisson played at Watford, yeah.
Yeah, so he's not lost a game in the league for Liverpool. That's good enough for me. No. So yeah, Adrian's in over Westerveld.
Okay, I don't think I am going to make any changes to mine.
Doing some of these undrafted players then that I can't believe Berger's not gone.
Did he Haman gone?
Yeah.
Haman went. I took Haman. No, I can't do it.
I wanted to ask you about one because I was going back through match reports. So I was born in '94, and I was looking through these centre backs trying to find someone. And some of the columns on John Scales in '94.
Yeah, I think I was probably too young to appreciate it. Was actually quite a good. He got tarred with the whole. He was past the Spice Boys and had a defence and very good, but I do think he was probably a lot better than what people make out. The only thing I was umming and ahhing about there was maybe bringing in on show for Agger. But I'm going to keep Agger. I think I'll just go with my gut there. So a couple of the undrafted players then, and then we'll just run through our teams. I think what we'll do maybe next week, I think maybe if we have a sort of a half-hour chat about how we reckon these will play out in a little tournament. How does that sound?
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. So before we run through our teams, obviously we'll be asking people to go on the Liverpool.com social channels and voting for which squad you think is the best. Some of the undrafted players I've got down: Glenn Johnson, Stefan Onshow, Moreno, Bjorn B, Lucas Leiva.
Yeah, I saw him.
I was considering name I took Morelos.
Gary Mack.
Yeah.
He can't be playing against some of these midfields now.
Well, he wasn't making it in mine. He wasn't need a gas in air after 20 minutes. Danny Murphy, which sort of ties into what we were saying before the call about how he's really forgettable. Jamie Redknapp. Redknapp was really good start of the Premier League-era, but he just never really took things by the scruff of the neck. And the only two strikers I think, or forwards, was maybe Rush 92, 93. But again, that's so far back. Maybe none of us could pick it. And one of the sleepers that I was surprised didn't maybe make it was Kilo 506.
I've got another one. I've got another one for you.
Another one. I think Ben Ayoun as well.
Ben Ayoun, that would have been a good one.
Het treble winning season.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Was basically, if I couldn't get Firmino or Suarez, was going to be in for me.
Yeah.
Unplayable.
Which just goes to show you, like, certainly if we've learned anything from this draft, is that Liverpool have loads of really good attackers. Absolutely no backs. So just run through our teams then, and you'll be able to hopefully see them. Sam Fedrizzi of Blood Red has been on this call, listening in diligently, and hopefully he'll be making those nice little graphics if you are watching this on YouTube. Hopefully not giving them too much work to do there. So Ollie, if you want us to read out your team and your formation.
Yeah. I'm going with a 4-3-3 that we might shift in 4-2-3-1 every now and then, depending how the game goes. We got Dudek in net, back four of Trent Alexander-Arnold, Marcus Babbel, Martin Skrtel, and Andy Robertson. Some creativity and some muscle and fight too. In front of them, Raul Morelos is the screener, God knows why. And then Steven Gerrard and Felipe Coutinho partnering in the midfield, 08-09 Gerrard, and then peak of his powers Coutinho. Then Mane on the right, Nicholas Anelka through the middle, and John Barnes on the left. It's pretty serious.
So some really interesting shows there that I think could either boom or bust for you. Dan, your team?
I'm going to line us up in a 4-2-3. Pereira, Jamie Carragher and Joel Matip centre-back. Steve Finnan and James Milner playing full-back. Two Holden, Xabi Alonso and Gini Wijnaldum. The three in front of them are Steve McManaman, Roberto Firmino and Craig Bellamy. And they are behind 2013-14 Luis Suarez.
I think that's decent. I think it's a good team, Dan. All I'm thinking about that one, potentially, we can talk about this more in detail next week, but I think my front four could absolutely go back four on pace.
Yeah. let's just have a shootout and see how it goes.
So mine, which is by no means a perfect team, there is a lot of problems with it, but I'm going for a 4-2-2-2 formation. Alisson in goal, and he will be very busy. I will not be giving him a save bonus. Rob Jones right back from 95-96. Daniel Agger and Joe Gomez centre backs from 12-13 and 19-20. And the 01-02 John Arnorisa. Have two holder midfielders in Fabinho 18-19 and Didi Hamann from the treble winning season of 2000-2001. And then sort of as inverted strikers, Salah and Sterling. Salah from 17-18, Sterling from 14-15. And up front, we've got Robbie Fowler 95-96 and Michael Owen 2001.
So close, Jesus.
That just never ends, does it? It's like a freight
train. So yeah, that is my team. I'm actually, it doesn't actually look. I'm happy how I salvaged the midfield, but the defense is absolute. It's not terrible. Gomez is going to have to do a lot though. And enjoy yours.
Yeah. So the only pick I wasn't really that happy with in the end, but Adrian 1920 in goal. No other choice really. And then I've got at right back 07-08 Alvaro Arbeloa. Then 18-19 Virgil van Dijk with 01-02 Sami Hyypiä. And 08-09 Fabio Aurelio. So I'm pretty happy with that back four. I'm going to say it's a 4-4-2, but it could be more of a 4-2-2 sort of thing, like you said, Chris. So the two in front of the back four, we've got Mascherano screening, Henderson with a little bit more freedom next to him. Feel like they pretty much got centre mid boxed. They've got Maxi on the left, Dirk Kuyt on the right. You've got goals, assists, defensive work rate there. And then 08-09 Fernando Torres with 13-14 Daniel Sturridge. I think get the ball anywhere near them and it's game over. So I'm pretty happy.
I think that's really good. I think what's interesting about yours as well there, Joe, is there's a lot of combinations from the same seasons.
Yeah,
so you'd have that synergy between them. So that's great. We will be back next week. I think we will talk about this. We'll take half an hour out next week and discuss how we see them playing and where we think the strengths and weaknesses are. But now is the time to sort of say thank you for joining us on this draft, our inaugural draft. Maybe we'll make this a yearly thing and we'll think of different type of things we can do with it. Thanks very much to Ollie, Dan and Joel for taking part in this. I hope it's been as fun for you guys to watch as it is for us to play it. Thanks to Sam from the Blood Red channel for sitting there diligently and listening to us waffle on about Real Morelos for an hour and a bit. And thanks very much as well to everybody, the viewers. This will be all across the Liverpool.com social channels and the Blood Red social channels over the next couple of days. We want to hear your thoughts about, who drafted well, who didn't draft well, what team's looking good, what team isn't looking good. And we'll be leaving all of the info in the description below on YouTube and also on our podcast channels as well. So that's it from us for today. Thank you very much for joining us, everybody. All that's left to say is stay safe, stay well, hang in there, and we'll speak to you very, very soon. Take care, everyone.